Okay, let's unpack this. We've managed to dive into a truly unique stack of source material today.
Really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's the ceremonial catechism. So the question and answer format they use for initiation for the first 3 degrees of this, well, highly esoteric group.
The Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood.
Exactly.
And it is a remarkable glimpse into a philosophical system. Our mission today really is to trace the clear instructional progression embedded in these documents.
Right.
Because these aren't just arbitrary titles, you know. The degrees map out an entire curriculum, you could say, for spiritual development.
So it's a journey.
It's a journey, moving the initiate from the abstract kind of universal source of wisdom
Yeah.
all the way down to the specific application of that wisdom in their day-to-day physical existence.
And the whole thing seems to pivot around 3 powerful connected symbols we'll need to follow.
That's right. The ocean, the wave, and the ship. We'll track those through the degrees.
Okay, but before we jump into that progression, we need to look at the bedrock, right? What's the foundational mandate? The thing that governs every single degree.
Good point. It's called the first care. And it's stated up front as being universal across all 3 levels,
Yeah, and that's
ensuring that unity and harmony are evident.
unity and harmony. And the documents immediately clarify how that happens, don't they? It's not passive.
Not at all. This state isn't achieved by just, sitting still. It's achieved through the dynamic, the harmonious interplay of 2 huge philosophical concepts.
Which are being and becoming, arising and passing away.
Exactly. And that phrasing, that's like the engine of their entire system.
Okay, break that down a bit. Being versus becoming.
Well, when we talk about being, think eternal, constant, unified existence, the
Okay,
source,
the ground floor.
right? And when we talk about becoming, that's the movement, the change, manifestation, experience in the world.
So the journey itself.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the initiate isn't meant to choose one over the other. The task is finding the functional, flowing relationship between that absolute stillness and absolute motion.
Okay, so it sets the stage for a lifetime of trying to balance the internal world and the external world.
It really does. And, if we look at where they say their wisdom comes from, their authority, this duality is maintained there too.
How so?
When the Catechism asks about the origin of Atlantean wisdom, it gives a 2-part answer. First, it comes from all legitimate sacred sources.
So external texts, teachings they study.
Yeah, the things you'd expect. But the critical addition is the second part.
Yeah.
Wisdom also arises from consciousness itself, the eternal ocean of truth.
Ah, okay. That tells you immediately this whole system is about using external structures, maybe, to guide a really intense internal search.
Exactly. Defining pure consciousness as the ultimate foundational reality, the ground floor, as you said.
And that idea that eternal consciousness, it seems to act as the anchor point for the whole system, doesn't it? Regardless of the degree.
It's the unbreakable anchor. Because the final question in the closing catechism for every single level is always the same.
Which is?
What remains when the ocean is still?
And the answer, the ultimate truth the student has to internalize,
Is unchanging. The eternal presence of consciousness.
wow. So it's a constant philosophical loop. It ensures that even when they're immersed in the chaos of experience, they always know where the deepest reality resides.
It's like the ultimate fail-safe, isn't it? No matter how complicated the lessons get later on, in degrees 2 and 3, the initiate is constantly reminded. The goal is always to return to that place of stillness.
And yet, they don't just stay there. Before they depart back into the world, there's that consistent final benediction.
That's right. They leave with life, light, and boundless love. So, grounded in stillness, but acting with dynamism.
Okay, so let's trace how they build this foundation, starting with the beginner's work, degree 1. It begins with the most abstract, the vastest concept.
Right, the degree of harmonious union.
Harmonious union.
This first degree is all about establishing that relationship with the source. So the working tool here is the ocean.
The ocean.
Which they define as the cosmic being.
Yeah.
Pure, vast, unified existence.
Mm.
And the structure of the degree itself reflects this simplicity, the singularity.
Yeah, I noticed that. We see only one ruler serving in this land of harmonious union.
Just the Grand Master.
And they're placed only in the east.
And that placement is highly symbolic, of course. The east represents the source of light, the beginning, the seat of authority and wisdom, the origin point.
Makes sense.
So since this degree focuses only on the unified source, the Grand Master, representing that pure authority and wisdom, is enough. There's no need for navigation yet.
Because there's no complexity yet.
Exactly. No waves to navigate.
So if the working tool is the ocean, the cosmic being, what's the core lesson? What's the foundational truth the initiate has to get from this huge symbol?
The specific truth learned here is the core premise of stillity, really.
Yeah.
It's that beneath all waves, stillness abides.
Beneath all waves, stillness abides. That's the initial realization, then. That even if life on the surface is chaotic,
The essence of existence is immutable and calm, deep down.
and the strength that flows from achieving this harmonious union, from accessing that stillness, the document's listed as peace, remembrance, and unity of spirit.
It sounds like the necessary psychological and spiritual grounding, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Before the individual gets, thrust into the turbulence of the world.
It feels like the absolute prerequisite. You can't handle the later stuff without this anchor.
You really can't. You cannot successfully navigate the subsequent degrees which deal with movement and illusion unless you are anchored in that realization that being is constant.
Mm.
But of course, the journey doesn't stop there.
No, definitely not. It shifts pretty dramatically. We transition from the massive source, the ocean, to the movement it creates.
Which takes us into degree 2, the degree of dualistic illusion.
Dualistic illusion. So we move away from pure being and dive deep into active becoming.
And you immediately see the complexity reflected in the structure itself. The working tool shifts now
From the ocean to
to the wave,
okay.
which is specifically defined as thought and becoming.
Thought and becoming. Okay, so the introduction of thought immediately creates duality, separation.
Movement away from the single source.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And structurally, we get another authority figure added.
That's right. Now, 2 rulers serve, the Grand Master and the Navigator.
And they're placed in the east and the west. Why the navigator? Why is that role so crucial once thought enters the picture?
Well, think about the symbolism. The West represents the setting sun, the end of the day, but also the place of experience, complication, shadow. It requires direction.
Okay.
The Navigator represents the mental faculty you need to deal with that complexity,
Yeah.
to chart a course through the turbulence of becoming. The Grand Master is still there in the East, tethering them to the source.
Right. The anchor.
But the Navigator is needed to manage the active experience, the movement.
So the navigator isn't just about movement, it's about making choices, right? In a world of conflicting information, illusion.
Precisely. And the central lesson they discern from studying the wave reflects that. It's kind of the bittersweet reality of mental activity.
Which is?
That thought creates illusion, yet points back to truth.
Thought creates illusion, yet points back to truth. That's profound.
It is. Thought is necessary, obviously, for understanding the world. But it simultaneously defines boundaries, categories, separations that, from the ocean's perspective, don't really exist.
It creates the illusion that you are separate from everything else.
That's the core illusion.
And this leads directly to the core peril, the main danger of this entire dualistic level. It's a warning against misperception in this world of movement.
Yes. What is the great danger the initiate must learn to avoid?
It's stated as.
The danger is to mistake the shadow for the substance.
So if the ocean is the substance, the ultimate reality,
And the wave, the temporary, ever-changing movement of your thoughts and experiences, is the shadow.
and if you mistake that shadow for the real thing,
You lose your anchor. You become hopelessly lost in the mental narrative, in the illusion.
which is exactly why that constant reminder, what remains when the ocean is still, is so vital in this degree.
It's the only way to reconcile the need for active thought, the wave, with the knowledge that thought itself is the primary source of illusion. It's a fantastic philosophical challenge they're posing.
It really is. Okay, so the initiate confronts the source, then confronts the illusion created by thought. What's next?
Well, once the initiate has confronted these abstract challenges of duality and learned, hopefully, how to navigate that movement, they are ready for the final step in this initial sequence.
Which is embodying that wisdom, bringing it into the physical.
Exactly. That brings us to degree 3, the degree of Divine Trinity.
Divine Trinity, this is the culmination of the initiate degrees, where the wisdom moves fully into the physical realm, into the self.
Right. And the working tool reflects this perfectly. It's no longer the environment, like the ocean or the wave.
It's the vehicle used to traverse it.
Precisely. The ship, which is explicitly defined as the body.
The body as the ship.
This is the realization that the physical vessel is the instrument. It's the tool for applying all the previous lessons learned about being and becoming.
And the final expansion of authority is complete here too, right? We now have 3 rulers.
That's right. 3 rulers serve. the Grand Master, the Navigator, and the Captain.
Placed in the east, the west, and now the south.
And the Captain is the key addition here, placed in the south. Symbolically, the south is associated with the midday sun, the peak of physical activity, manifestation, strength.
Application.
Yes, the application of direction. The captain is the integrated self, the one steering the physical vessel, the ship, and actually applying the lessons learned from the Grand Master's wisdom and the navigator's discernment.
So this structure represents the harmonious trinity: wisdom and source, East Grand Master; mental skill and direction, S Navigator; and physical action and manifestation, South Captain.
Perfectly put, it's integration. And the strength gained in this degree reflects that integrated capability the ship grants them.
Endurance, direction, and balance upon life's waters.
Exactly. They've hopefully achieved mastery over their internal and external movements, and now they possess the endurance to maintain that balance over time through the ups and downs.
But, like the other degrees, this one comes with its own specific peril, a final warning that threatens the initiate's progress, just as the wave threatened the mind with illusion.
The ship, the body, introduces a final and maybe the most personal danger regarding self-identification.
What is that final critical distinction the initiate absolutely must maintain?
The ultimate warning found in the closing catechism for this degree is the necessity to guard against, to mistake the ship for the traveler within.
Wow. To mistake the ship for the traveler within, that is the ultimate philosophical mistake of the physical life, isn't it?
It really is. The ship is your temporary vehicle. Your appearance, your health, your ego, your job, all the stuff you accumulate in your becoming.
But the traveler.
The traveler is that kernel spark of consciousness, your fundamental being, the awareness looking out through the eyes of the ship.
So if they confuse the vehicle with the driver, essentially they fail the entire mission. It's a remarkable loop that connects the very practical application of the third degree right back to the pure definition of consciousness established in the first.
It synthesizes everything beautifully.
Yeah.
The progression moves cleanly from the source of all reality, ocean being, through the challenge of experience and mental complexity, wave becoming, and finally to the functional tool for navigating that experience, ship body.
Ensuring that even while the initiate is fully engaged in active becoming,
they remain fundamentally grounded in eternal being. The entire system provides really a clear three-part map for navigating existence itself.
And if we circle back to that initial mandate, the harmonious interplay of being and becoming, you can see how the working tools fit perfectly.
Absolutely. The ocean is cosmic being. The wave is thought and becoming.
And the ship is the body designed to reconcile and navigate those two forces. So the final peril, mistaking the ship for the traveler, is a direct consequence of failing to maintain that harmony.
It is. If you mistake the temporary ship for the eternal traveler, you're basically prioritizing the arising and passing away, the becoming over the fundamental unity and harmony, the being that lies beneath it all. You've lost the balance.
So thinking about that highest level peril defined by the Sacred Atlantean Brotherhood, the absolute necessity to distinguish the vehicle from the awareness that pilots it, we can leave you with this final thought to consider.
A provocative one, perhaps?
Definitely. What elements of your own ship, your vessel, your temporary roles, your physical attributes, your accumulated identity, might you, right now, be mistaking for the essential traveler within?
It's a question that, according to this system at least, defines the entire journey upon life's waters.